Right, today we will do something slightly different. We will start with a walking meditation. So let's start standing. We will take a couple of deep breaths in the mountain pose. So stand with either your feet apart or together. And if you choose to keep your feet together, spread your toes nice and wide, press your ankles against each other. Maybe press your knees against each other and then roll your shoulders back to keep a nice straight posture. Squeeze your buttocks, squeeze the back of your thighs so that you almost try to rotate your thighs outside. So they're going outside. Good. And engage your core muscles, open your chest, drop your shoulders, and gently tuck your chin in so that your neck is the extension of the spine. And your palms can face out, or you can bring them together by your heart into prayer. So whichever works for you. We will stay here for a few breaths, so make sure you are comfortable. And as I said, if you struggle with balance, just keep your feet a bit wider apart. And then take a nice deep breath in. And notice your breath coming through your nose, your throat, your chest, and particularly your chest is opening, your rib cage are moving up and sideways. Oxygenating your body, bringing fresh new energy. At the same time, you can imagine you are stretching your spine through the crown of your head towards the sky and down through your tailbone. Find your belly, especially your lower belly, the area under, below your navel. And imagine you are filling out the ball over there with the air. And then squeeze that ball to empty your lower lungs. Take a couple of deep breaths there. So not just your chest, but also your lower belly. Taking more air in than you usually take, but maintaining slow, smooth breath to avoid any dizziness. Good. It's a standing meditation today. So become aware the connection your feet make with the ground, the quality of this connection. And of your entire posture. It's a lovely posture for your spine, especially your lower back. So why not to remember it and perhaps stand in it to some extent when you stand in the queue in a shop, which is very common these days in the pandemic. So the key is to squeeze your buttocks and gently tuck your pelvis in. Mountain pose, very steady, grounding posture. And feel free to relax your arms and create a gentle gap between your feet. And make sure you spread the weight evenly between both feet. And continue focusing on sensations coming from your feet. And now start swaying gently forwards and backwards. So take more weight onto your heels and then onto your toes without lifting any of them off the floor yet. So just gently rocking forwards and backwards very slowly. So this is a mindful walking practice, so the slower you go, the better. So focusing on all the sensations coming from your feet, every muscle, every bone, maybe even cartilage, maybe ligament involved in the process. And increasing that movement, so you end up lifting your heels off the mat, and then you end up lifting your toes off the mat as you go backwards and forwards. Very slowly, maintaining the awareness of your feet and how the weight is shifting. Notice how complex this actually is, how many muscles are involved. And start swaying from side to side. So take the weight on one foot and then very slowly switch to the other leg. Very slowly, noticing the difference in sensations depending on where the weight is. And increasing the range of the movement, so maybe lifting one of the feet off the mat. Finding the sensations around your toes, the balls of your feet, the heels, even your inner arches, the outside edge of the foot. And when you are ready, very slowly start walking towards one edge of the mat, one end of the mat. So this is not a race, it's all about the process, and the slower you go, the better. Because actually there is plenty of sensations to focus on. And the slower you go, the more of them you can notice. And this time, notice not only the feet, but also the ankles, the way they work. Perhaps your calf muscles are engaged, one at a time. The angle in your knees is changing, depending on which leg is going forward now. Your thighs are working, your hips. Notice the difference in your hips. Walking is a complex process, actually. So keep observing all those sensations. And this is mindful practice, and it's possible that you may go really deep into this mindful state, which might be quite a new experience for you. But there is nothing to be scared of. Just focus on your sensations, and if it's too much, then just come back to your mind and then come back to your sensations. It's a powerful practice, and the more you practice it, the easier it gets, and the sooner you get into the mindful state where you are very present without any judgment, any thoughts, just staying with the sensations, especially on your feet. Very slowly, continue walking as slow as you can. Taking maybe 10 seconds before you lift that other foot off the mat. So that you can notice how the weight is shifting, not only from one leg to the other, but also from one part of your foot to the other. Good. And slowly coming back to standing at the center of your mat. And making sure the weight is evenly spread between your legs again. Now notice how heavy your head is, and start bringing your chin towards the top of your chest, as if you want to rest your chin on your chest. With head very heavy, relaxed arms, heavy shoulders going down towards the floor and moving away from your ears. At this point, feel free to breathe through your mouth. Noticing what changes, any new sensations, and letting go of judgment. And from here we'll continue going down into forward bend, so very slowly bending forward from your hips, taking a couple of breaths before your palms reach the floor or your shins. So very heavy arms, knees gently bent, and here start swaying from side to side. So rocking left to right. If your arms are particularly long, feel free to clasp your elbows so that gravity can pull your upper body down even more, maybe also opening your shoulders. At this point, shake your head, yes and no, with your head to release your neck. And when you are ready, taking a couple of deep breaths to come back to standing, stacking one vertebra on top of the other. The head comes up last. Good. So that was our mindful walking practice. Now we are going to do some breathing. So I recommend you to put one palm on stomach, just above the navel, maybe an inch above the navel, and the other under your navel, so on your lower belly. And we'll try to isolate the muscles. So next time we will be doing pumping breath. I want you to try to breathe only through your upper belly. So even now you can take a couple of breaths and checking which palm is moving. Ideally the lower hand stays where it is and only the upper hand is being pushed out as you inhale and then moving back as you exhale. But don't worry if you don't manage to isolate those muscles in this session. Ideally in dynamic movements we're gonna do next, you only breathe in your upper belly. So we are going to do 20 more or less dynamic breaths, pumping breaths. Before we get there, let's take a nice deep breath in together into the entire lungs. And then start pumping when you are ready. Very good. Now take a nice deep breath in, take your arms up. And on the exhale, bend forward, exhaling through your mouth. Exhale, 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 empty your lungs. Maybe hold your breath out for a moment or two. And then start breathing in and start coming back to standing. Okay, not too bad. We are going to do that again. And when you exhale and bend forward, I recommend you to take your tongue out. So that's the classic breath. And stay with your breath out for as long as you can, holding your breath out. And then when you are ready, come out. Okay, so feel free to put your palms again on your belly. 20 pumping breaths. Let's start with a deep breath in. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Nice deep breath in, arms up. Tongue out, look up, exhale, bend forward. Empty your lungs and then hold your breath out. Palms on your knees. And eventually start breathing in again. It's okay if you start coughing, that's actually a good sign. So it's a cleansing Kriya exercise. We'll do it 2 more times. However, when you hold your breath out and you stay in this pose, preferably with your palms on your knees, feel free to do a pumping movement with your belly as if you are still breathing dynamically. However, the air stays out. So this will nicely massage your internal organs. Hopefully you didn't have a breakfast in last hour or so. If you did, then don't do the pumping movement. Okay, deep breath in. 20 pumping breaths. And then exhale, exhale, exhale. Arms up, inhale. Deep breath in. Tongue out. Keep looking towards your forehead. Exhale, bend forward. Stay with your breath out. Maybe pump. And when you struggle, then start breathing in again. Good. Last one. Nice deep breath in. And pump. Exhale, exhale. And inhale. Deep, nice breath in. Exhale, tongue out. Truly empty your lungs and hold the breath out. Pump if you like. And eventually start breathing again. Okay, we are moving into Hatha yoga. Let's prepare the wrists, extend your arms and lift your palms up and then your palm down. Now fists, rotating your palms, wrists. Mona, we are doing hands, not legs. Yes, rotating the wrists, both directions. Great, and shake. And now come to the front of your mat if you are not there already. We are going into sun salutes. So take a nice deep breath in, arms up. And stay up, exhale. Inhale, lean back, look up. And then bring your palms to your heart and lower yourself down into forward bend. Good. Before we go further, bend your knees a few times to warm up your hamstrings. So going maybe quite deep, bending your knees. Good. And take your right leg back. Bring your knee down, foot flat. And look up, sinking lower with your hips. And at the same time pushing that front knee away from you. Good. And from here, move to all fours. So bring that front knee back. And let's do cat flexion extensions. So look up, drop your belly. Exhale. And flex your spine, tucking your navel in. Few times, following your breath. So if you notice, the postures in yoga are often named after animals to mimic their own movements. So that's how cats usually stretch their spine. Good. Okay, and we'll unfold the downward dog, which we desperately need for sun salutes. Spread your fingers nice and wide to protect your wrists. Tuck your toes under and lift your knees off the mat and push through your palms so that your arms become the extension of the spine, creating one line. At this point, perhaps your chest, lower belly are resting on your knees. That's good. You can lift your heels higher to create a 90 degrees angle there to stretch your toes. And when you are ready, start straightening your legs. But keep pushing through your palms to create an inverted V shape. Now walk on spot, bringing one heel down at a time. Good. And your feet should be hip distance apart. Parallel, feet parallel to each other. Now inhale both heels up. Exhale both heels down and try to hold your downward dog for a few breaths. Trying to reach the mat through your heels. Don't worry if you can't get there yet. That's the direction you're going into, and it will stretch the back of your legs. So keep pressing through your palms. Sitting bones try to go towards the sky, and heels are going down towards the ground. Okay, lift your right leg up next time you inhale. Bend the leg and step it through between your palms. Take a few moments to get there, and then bring the left foot down. Look up, maybe rise onto your fingertips. Try to sink lower with your hips, letting this right knee go forward a bit, much further than your toes. Good, gentle stretch on your groin. And forward bend, so step the back leg forward. Inhale, look up, tabletop flat back. Exhale, go down. Soft knees all the way up. Great. So that was our first very basic sun salute. Let's go to the next one, continuing to warm up the body. So as you exhale, keep your arms up, palms together. Then inhale again, lean back, look up, and as you exhale, start bending forwards. This time we'll do one other warm-up. Sat in imaginary chair. So bend your knees and sit low with your bum. Take your palms off the floor. Instead, bring them into prayer by your heart. And twist to your left so that you can rest your right elbow on top of the left leg. Good. Strong pose, so keep breathing. Open your chest. And to come out, start straightening your legs, come back to standing. Good. Let's do that again. Deep breath in, arms up. Exhale as you are. Inhale, gentle back bend, and then come back to forward bend. Sit in imaginary chair, very deep. And then twist to the other side and rest the elbow, left elbow this time, on the right knee or thigh. Try to keep your palms by your sternum. Maybe twisting more, visualizing your spine. And again, to come out, start breathing in as you rise up. Okay. Now we are ready to go deeper. Inhale, arms up. Exhale. Inhale, bend back. And then come down into forward bend. Inhale, look up, right leg back. Again, knee and foot flat. This time, place your palms on your knee or your hips and sink lower with your hips. Looking up. You may notice maybe today you can go deeper than usual. Very good. And bring your palms down. all fours, so both knees down. And bring your chest down into cobra, so slide down. And then take a nice deep breath. Inhale. Come back onto all fours, unfold your downward dog. You can walk your dog again if your hamstrings feel tight, otherwise just stay in your dog. And then take a nice deep breath in, right leg up, step it through, bring the left foot down, rise up, palms on your knee or hips. Just a note that Dominica, your camera is off and I can't see you. So I don't know if it's a technical issue or you didn't give a permission to your camera. So that's Dominica. Okay, and now bring your palms down, forward bend, so step that back foot forward. Inhale, look up, exhale down, and inhale all the way up. Great, and exhale. Let's continue. Inhale, arms up, stay up, exhale. Inhale, lean back. Exhale, dive into forward bend. Look up, inhale, right leg back. And this time, keep your right knee, right foot up, right heel up. Look up, or if you want, bring your palms on your thigh, rising up. Make sure your feet are not on the tightrope because you will struggle with balance. So there is about 2-3 inches gap between your feet if you are to draw a line. Opening your chest, take your shoulders away from your ears, look up, and then come down. And this time we are going to plank. So take that leg back again into plank and choose the way you lower yourself down. Easy option, knees first and then chest. So-called chaturanga. Inhale in your cobra. Come back onto your all fours, unfold your dog. In your dog, take a deep breath in, rising your right leg up. Step your foot between your palms and don't hang about, rise up on the inhale. Palms on your knee or thigh. Back leg is straight. You are stretching through the back heel. Good. Looking up if you like. Nice long neck. Good. And coming down. Forward bend. So standing forward bend. Inhale. And then exhale, go deeper. And come back to standing. And let's take a couple of deep breaths here. Just to say I got your message, Dominica. As long as you can see me, that's the most important part. And next time your arms are up, stay there, exhale. And then inhale, lean back a bit and come all the way down for a forward bend. Inhale, look up, right leg back, rise up, and this time bring your palms to your hips only if you struggle. Otherwise, bring your arms by your sides or palms together over your head. And now you can have a lovely back bend, opening your heart even more. Opening that chest towards the sky, lowering your hips a bit to stretch your groins. And then bring your palms to your heart, down towards the mat. Take the left foot back and chaturanga or press up to lower yourself down. Inhale, cobra. All fours, unfold your dog. Next time you inhale, lift your right leg up and step it through. Rise up. Arms by your side or over your head. Good. Sinking lower with your hips if you can. Back leg straight, stretching through the heel. Front knee over the ankle or maybe even a bit further over your toes. Looking up. extending the spine through the crown of your head. And then palms down, forward bend. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend. Inhale all the way up to standing. Very good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, stay where you are. Inhale, lean back. Dive into your forward bend. This time, bring your right palm to the floor in front of you, or maybe some block or books, and lift your left arm up towards the sky. So left palm is pointing towards your sky or ceiling, wherever you are. Simple forward bend with a twist. You can press against that floor to maybe go deeper. Try to focus your eye gaze on the thumb. Good, and switch sides. So bring your left palm down and then extend your right arm. Don't worry if you can't reach the floor. You can still do it while floating with that palm over the floor. Keep looking up, stretching through your fingers. Good. Okay, let's continue. Take the right leg back from your forward bend. And this time plant your right palm by the instep. So your left foot is under the knee and your right palm is under the right shoulder. Place your left palm on your left knee or extend that arm towards the sky. We've done this posture a few times, so that should feel quite familiar. If you have to protect your wrist for some reason, then spread your fingers nice and wide. Back leg straight. Focus the eye gaze on your thumb. Nice stretch on your thighs. Gentle twist on the spine. And bring the left palm down, left foot back. Lower yourself down as you exhale. Inhale, cobra. And prepare to unfold your dog. Inhale, right leg up. Step it through. And this time plant your left palm by the instep. And place your right palm on your right knee or extend it towards the sky. You will stay here for 3 to 5 breaths. Perhaps sinking lower with those hips. No need to hold any tensions there. Stretching back through the heel. Strong front leg. And then come out. We are going to forward bend. Inhale, look up. Exhale, bend. Inhale, soft knees all the way back to standing. Good. And exhale. Let's take a few deep breaths here, just to oxygenate, as these were quite strong postures. Good. And let's go again. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, stay where you are. Inhale, lean back. Good. And dive into forward bend. Sun salutes. Inhale, look up and right leg back as usual. But this time, plant your left palm by the left instep and bring your right heel down. So that should feel familiar too. You are pressing against your knee with the shoulder. And now extend the right arm towards the sky. Straight back leg. Good stable posture thanks to the left shoulder and left knee together. Focus your eye gaze on the thumb to stretch the muscles of your eyes. If you want to go deeper, come over with that right arm towards the ear, maintaining one line with the back leg. Looking up, gently twisting towards the sky with your chest. Good. Then bringing the right palm down, lifting the back heel up, and going into forward bend. So bending those arms. Some of you will bring forearms down to the mat if you have this degree of flexibility. So it's a forward bend with left leg by your side and the right leg nice and long behind you. Good. Keep the back leg nice and long. Continue stretching through your right heel. And if you have to, drop your left knee to the side to create more space for your forward bend. Some of you might even rest your eyebrows on the thumbs if you bring your palms into prayer. Okay, and straightening your arms, palms on the mat, make your way to plank. And then choose your way to lower yourself down. Take a nice deep breath in your cobra. Move onto all fours, tuck your toes under, downward dog. Deep breath in, right leg up. Step your right leg through. This time, plant your right palm by the right instep, back heel down. Good. Extend the left arm. Lovely twist. The shoulder is pressing against the knee. Looking up, focusing the eye gaze on the thumb. Remember to breathe. Back leg is nice and long, giving you good stability with the foot grounded along with your heel. You can go deeper by bringing that left arm towards your left ear, opening your chest gently towards the sky. Good. And come down with that palm. Maybe take the back foot back a bit and then go into your forward bend the way you like. Check where are your limits today. But make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. So maintain nice posture, including your chest. Okay, and straighten both arms, palms on the mat. It's a forward bend now, so somehow bring that back foot forward. Inhale, look up, tabletop flat back. Exhale in your forward bend. On with your soft knees, come all the way up to standing with your head coming up last. So that was our last sun salute. Well done. Let's have a short break, grab a drink. We are going into next sequence in a minute. I hope it wasn't too strong because we still have warriors to go through. So maybe shake your legs if that was hard on your thighs, maybe even massage your thighs if you feel they already worked hard. Massaging maybe front and back. Good. And come back to the front of your mat. Let's start with right. So take your left leg back. Right leg in front, left leg back, warrior two. So there is about 60 degrees angle on the back leg. It's gonna be warrior two, so your hips stay open to the side, but lower this right knee so it ends up just above your ankle. You should be able to see your big toe. Back leg nice and straight. Extend your arms. And for now, look back and then look to the front to make sure both arms are parallel and they are gently floating, so there is no tension in your arms. We'll hold this for 2 more breaths. Maybe lower yourself down a bit. And then lower your left arm down onto your thigh. Come over with the right arm. Good. Lovely side stretch. You should feel your right waist, maybe right lung as you inhale. looking up. The knee didn't move. And we'll switch sides. Easy option, rest your right elbow on top of the thigh. Harder option, extend your right arm in front of you. 90 degrees angle, and left arm is parallel. Sorry, not parallel, but is an extension of your left leg. So that's hard version. Easy, rest your elbow on your thigh. Good, to come out, straighten both legs. And come a bit closer with the back leg. We are going into triangle. Extend those arms again. Lean to your right, as if I'm pulling you by the right palm, and then lower yourself down, resting your palm on your shin, foot, or mat, or block, looking up. It's a lovely twist. We'll stay here for a few moments. Try to focus your eye gaze on the thumb. Both legs straight. The triangle doesn't really work if you bend your knees, but do not overextend them either. Very nice. Looking good. Good. And bend the front knee to come out, coming back to standing. And coming back to front. Switch sides. So take your right leg back. So on the other side, the same sequence. Bend the front knee. Extend your arms. Remember to always check your lower back, maybe tucking this pelvis under a bit. Good. Check both arms, make sure they're parallel without too much tension. And then look towards the left palm. Now bring your right palm down onto your thigh, slide it down towards your knee, coming over with the left arm, opening the side of your chest. So you can feel you are stretching through your palms as if you try to pull something away from your hip. So the whole side of your body is stretching. Now inhale, switch sides. Hard option, extend the left arm in front of you. Easy option, rest your left forearm on your thigh. So easy, hard. And check where your right arm is. It should be by your ear, few inches away from your ear. Very good. You are, guys, very stretched today. On the inhale, come out. Bring the back foot forward a bit. Extend your arms again. Lean to your left and then lower yourself down into triangle, looking up. Check where that left palm can rest. Ideally you have a block, but don't worry if you don't. Keep both legs straight. And focus your eye gaze on the thumb above you. And try to pull that right wrist away from you, taking the shoulder away from your ear. Good. Bend the front knee, inhale to come out. Another short break if you need one. We have one more sequence to go through. So lots of standing today. We are moving to warrior one, so come to the front of your mat and then take your left leg back. So in warrior one, you square your hips, so hips are facing forward. Bend the front knee so it comes over the ankle, back leg straight. Palms by your heart into prayer. Open this chest. Extend your spine through the crown of your head. Gently tuck your tailbone under to protect your lower back from overextending. Good. 2 breaths here. We are going to lunge. We are going to lift the back leg back, shifting the weight onto the front leg. So kind of airplane, but keep your palms by your heart. If you are not sure, I'm demonstrating shifting the weight and kicking back with the left leg, bending forward if you can. To stabilize your posture, spread perhaps the toes of your right foot nice and wide. If you struggle with balance, bring your palms down. Maybe even hold your leg if you can't reach your floor or mat. And to come out, we will step that left leg back in a couple of breaths. So we will end up in Warrior One again. Okay, inhale, come back to Warrior One. Come back to your front and release. We are going to switch sides. So this time take your right leg back. Square your hips. Good. As always, make sure there is a nice gap between your feet if there is a line between them. Actually, my mat has a line in the middle, that's very helpful. My feet are at least 3 inches apart if I draw that line. Okay, now palms by your heart. Looking up if you want to overextend, no, not over, but extend through the crown of your head. So leaning back a bit. Perhaps sinking lower with your hips. And soon we will launch. So gather your energy and then start shifting the weight towards your left leg and rise up with your right leg. Remember, the front leg has to be straight or very gently bent, like a micro bend, if you want to keep it quite steady. And do not open your hip, you only kick back with that right leg, bending forward. I'm looking at you, it's looking very good. Some of you might leave that back leg a bit higher. Go deeper into your forward bend. And step back, come back to Warrior One, and then come back to the front of your mat. Shake if you have to. Okay, let's do a couple of forward bends, this time with your legs nice and wide. So find your convenient position on the mat. Legs nice and wide, but toes gently pointing towards each other, just to protect your knees. Palms on your hips. Inhale, look up. Open your chest, and as you exhale, start bending forwards, trying to bring the crown of your head down towards the floor and chest towards the line between your legs. You can bring your palms down. That will help you to go deeper into your forward bend. Maybe take your legs wider apart and kind of pull your face, chest towards the gap between your legs and the crown of your head down every time you exhale. If you feel your neck is tensed, shake it. Yes and no. So there is no tension in your neck. And then continue with your forward bend. Now straighten your arms and make sure they're just under your face. Now place your right palm in the gap between your palms so that your right palm is exactly under your face, and extend the left arm towards the ceiling or sky. Nice deep twist, looking up. We already done this pose, but with the legs together. Now with the legs wide apart, perhaps you can reach the mat or some block if it's too deep for you. Focus the eye gaze on your thumb. And switch sides. So left palm comes down, right arm goes up. Visualize your spine twisting to the other side, other direction now. Good, and release. From here, let's go into downward dog with legs nice and wide. So walk those palms forward and a bit wide. You might struggle with balance as your palms are off the mat, so it doesn't give you a good grip. And then press through your palms to open your shoulders. And release your upper back. Good. And walk your palms back. Shift the weight so you are again in forward bend and can come out on the inhale. But take it slowly. The head coming up last. Good. We are going to do that again, but this time with your palms together behind you. Interlace your fingers. With the pointing fingers pointing down. Lovely. And now as you keep your legs wide, look up. Take your shoulders away from your ears. Next time you exhale, start bending forwards, lifting your arms up. Make sure your palms don't splay out. Keep your palms together. They will protect your shoulder blades from overextending. Release your neck, maybe shake yes and no with your head. And stay in your forward bend. Perhaps bringing your palms, arms closer towards the floor in front of you, over your head. Good. Bring your palms to your hips. Slide them down, maybe grab your big toes or shins or just the floor. Inhale, look up. Exhale and go deep into forward bend, perhaps playing your elbows out, trying to pull the crown of your head towards the mat. Good. And from here we're moving into Indian squat, so you can just bring your legs a bit closer towards each other and bend your knees to sit down with your buttocks either on your heels. Your heels can be also on the mat. Now bring your palms together and spread your knees nice and wide, keeping your chest open. Lovely pose. If you've been to my class yesterday, I'm sure you can still feel the impact. I definitely do. Feeling very stretched this weekend. Feel free to close your eyes, gathering your energy. We are now going into crow pose, which is a nice balancing pose, strengthening your forearms. If you struggle with balance in this kind of inversions, then why not to get a blanket or pillow to catch you if you have to? Because it happens that people fall on their faces. So it's good there is something soft in front of you. Unless you are familiar with the pose, then just go directly into it. So bring your palms to the mat, spreading the fingers nice and wide. And there are two versions how you can do this pose. You can keep your arms fairly straight with your knees bent and then bringing the knees onto your arms, the back of your arms just under your armpit. Or you can keep your arms gently bent so that you can rest the inner thighs just next to the knees on your elbows. And then lift one foot off the mat at a time. So I personally recommend the second option if you are very skinny and you have particularly pointy knees, as I do. And if you are familiar with this pose, why not to take both feet off the mat? If it's too much for you and you want something much more gentle, then move into cross-leg sitting with your palms either by your side or between your shins, and then try to lift yourself up. You don't have to, but that's how you build the strength, by trying. So 2 options, actually 3. We'll spend here at least a minute more, so take your time. Ideally, it's a full inversion where you keep your legs off the mat, just on your palms. Good, few more moments. Easy option, palms by your hips in cross-leg sitting. Good. Okay, well done. You can now come out. We will quickly release hips in butterfly pose before we go to the next poses. So bring the soles of your feet together, open your chest, and then start releasing your hips with gentle butterfly-like movements. Maintain your posture awareness. Good. And from here we'll move into forward bends. So you might need a strap if you have short arms or tight hamstrings. So make sure your strap is somewhere around. And then extend your legs in front of you. Take your glutes away. And then vertical feet, vertical upper body, palms by your sides, by the hips. Activate your thighs to open your chest more. Squeezing, almost squeezing not only the shoulder blades, but your upper back. Pushing your heart out almost. At the same time, tuck your chin in a bit to extend through the crown of your head. Harder option, take your arms over your head. Really engaging those legs. Engaging the back muscles to stay in 90 degrees here. Keep breathing. Last deep breath in, open your chest more and release. Good. And let's start bending forward and back a bit to get used to seated forward bends. And eventually reach towards your feet, either with the strap or without. Looking towards your big toes. And then as you exhale, bringing your chest towards your thighs. Maybe splay out those elbows out. Make sure your back stays quite straight. But if you struggle, just bend your knees. Releasing the tensions from the backs of your knees, letting them sink into the ground. Good. Now to come out, take the right leg with you and bring the right sole of your foot to the groin. We are going to one-legged forward bend, so take your arms up as you inhale and then exhale and bend towards the left leg, which is nice and long in front of you. Good. We'll stay here for a few moments. Keep bringing your chest, face towards your front leg. Inhaling into the stretch. It might be at the back of your leg, it might be in your back, or both. So direct your breath there. Good. And now reach for your big toe with the left palm. If you can't reach, then just use the strap and hold the strap with your left palm only, and then extend the other arm to the right. so that your arms create one line. Look towards your right palm, maybe finish with chin mudra here. So thumb and pointing fingers together, chin mudra. Good. Perhaps pulling that left foot more. And then we are going into a variation on half moon, so bring your right arm towards your ear. It might be that vertical arm is as far as you can get, but if not, then keep coming with that right arm towards the ear to stretch the side of your body. It's a really deep stretch, and it's also a twist as you are opening your chest towards the sky. Look up. Nice straight arms. Well, the left elbow may be bent if you are more flexible. In full posture, we keep both palms together by the foot, but there is a risk you will bend forward as you get there. So for now, let's just build this stretch as we are. With the right arm parallel to the floor, or not even that. Good. Slowly come out. Bring the palms behind you, fingers pointing forward. Point your toes. Inhale to lift yourself up into a gentle back bend. Drop your head if you like. Good. And come out, coming back to the mat. Switching your legs. So bring the sole of your left foot to the groin. Take those glutes away if they are in the way. Nice vertical foot in front of you. Take a nice deep breath in and bend forwards towards this leg. Remember, the foot stays active. And you are bringing not just your face, but most of all chest towards the leg. You may notice that one leg feels tighter than the other. That's nothing to worry about, but just take your time to stretch that leg too. In certain sports, we strengthen one leg more than the other. Could be in squash and racquetball sports, where one leg is stronger than the other, and as a result, the hamstring is tighter. So you might want to spend a bit more time on stretching that leg. Good, and release. Grab the big toe with your right palm, fingers, and then stretch the other arm to the opposite direction. Again, finish with chin mudra if you like. Focus the eye gaze on the left palm. That will be a lovely stretch for your eyes. And stay here for 2 more breaths at least. And then start adjusting your arm, perhaps pointing your fingers towards the sky or coming closer with your left arm towards the left ear. Keep looking up. Lovely stretch on your left waist, even your left lower back. I'm sure you can feel it. Inhaling into your left chest more. Allowing the left arm to be the extension of that side of your torso. Without bending forward, it's just a side stretch. Good. And to come out, bring your palms behind you. Point your toes. Inhale, lift yourself up for a few breaths. Good. And come back down. Time for a boat pose. So bring your thighs close to your chest And when you are ready, take your feet off the mat, shins parallel, opening your chest. Lovely. So you can stay here with or without support, it's up to you. We're gonna stay here for 5 breaths more. And make sure there is a symmetrical angle between your lower and upper body. Keep staring at your big toes or your feet. Good. And release, bring your feet down, hug your thighs and rest your cheek on your knees. Feel free to close your eyes. Just noticing how you feel. It's actually a nice self-hug. Okay, now we are going to boat pose stage 3 or 4. Grab your big toes as you splay your knees out and lift your feet off the mat. Find your balance, open your chest. Stay here or try to extend those legs in front of you. Make sure there is nothing behind you that would cause you any trouble if you are to lose your balance. Stay here or extend your legs nice and wide. Don't worry if you can't get there fully. Everyone has a different proportion of the legs to the arms. Maybe splaying those legs out a bit more. Good. Definitely a good pose for the sacral chakra. Okay, and bring those legs together again and choose your option. You can stay like this in the boat or perhaps holding your thighs or with no support at all. Whichever it is, make sure the angle is good. So symmetrical upper and lower body. There's a tendency to keep the legs higher than the rest. Three more breaths. And release and hug yourself again. This time rest the other cheek. Okay, time to do some back bends. So lay down, prepare for your bridge. So your arms are by your sides, fingers gently touching the heels or an inch further away from them. Feet are hip distance apart. For now, half bridge. So inhale and lift your pelvis off the mat, maybe your lower back, but don't go any further than that. On the exhale, bring your pelvis down. So we'll do it a few times without moving into full bridge yet. That might be too much after so much forward bending. So take it slowly. So lifting your pelvis and lower back off the mat, opening the front of your body, and then bringing the pelvis down, arching the lower back. Remember to engage your thighs as you go into bridge. And perhaps you are ready to lift your upper back as well. So balancing on your shoulder blades. Make sure your knees don't splay out. Knees stay over the ankles. Remember to engage the muscles of your legs. And keep opening that front of your body each time you inhale. You can use your arms as well. You can take your arms over your head as you go up. And then going down with your arms by your sides as you bring your hips down. Keep going in your own pace. And next time you move into bridge, stay in your bridge for a few breaths. Plenty of options. You can keep your arms over your head, or if you stayed with your palms by your side, just bring your palms together on the mat under your sacrum. Or if you like, you can support your hips with your forearms. Up to you. Tuck your chin in to protect your neck. Keep holding, strengthening the back muscles. Trying to maybe lift one foot off the mat, at least for a second or two, without losing the posture. So strengthening your back, strengthening one of the thighs at the time. You might even hold that leg up for a bit longer if you like. This is optional. Good, and release, come back to the mat. Take your arms over your head, nice long legs. Stretch, stretch, stretch. And exhale, hug your knees and rock from side to side. Continue rocking as we are moving into baby pose. So grab you the soles of your feet and bring your feet to parallel towards the sky. Shins vertical to the ground and continue rocking from side to side. Lovely stretch and gentle back massage. Knees bend. You almost try to pull those knees towards your armpits. Chest nice and open, shoulders away from your ears. Nice. And now bring your knees back to your chest, extend your arms to the sides and drop your knees to one side. And then inhale and come back to your center, drop to the other side. We will do it a couple of times. Good, last round. Good, come back to your center, bring your feet down again. This time, place your right foot on top of the left thigh. Grab the left thigh, lift your foot off the mat. And classic posture for the lower back. Pull that left leg towards you and the right leg will press against that leg. So there will be no movement, but both legs will be working, especially the right leg. You should be able to feel your thigh, maybe even the right side of your buttocks, engaging the muscle there. Or focusing on your lower back and pressing your lower back down towards the mat. Good. Tuck your chin in, stretch your neck so it's almost flat on the mat. And release. Switch sides. So now left ankle goes on top of the right leg. Lift the right foot off the mat, hold your thigh and press against that right leg with your left leg, especially focusing on your knee. You try to move that knee away from yourself. So it's almost like a hip opener, which is obviously blocked because the right leg is in the way, but that's where you are going. Nice long neck, so tuck your chin in. Good, and release. Fish pose. So quite classic back bend, but not very often taught in the classes. I will show you an easy version. So keep your feet quite flat, legs quite flat on the mat, but feet flexed. So feet are vertical. Now rise onto your forearms so that you create enough space to bring the crown of your head down to the mat, to open your throat. It's a really deep chest opener. Now bring your palms together at about 60 degrees angle just above your body. Stay here or lift your legs up at the same angle. To release, you need to bring your elbows down to lift yourself up, and then to release your neck and head. Good. Full body stretch. Take your arms over your head, point your toes. Hug your knees by your chest, rock yourself from side to side, and perhaps wrap yourself like a little ball with your nose between your knees. Good. And from here we are either coming back to bridge, so you will hold your bridge for at least 7, maybe 10 breaths, or some of you will move into wheel pose, much deeper back bend. In wheel pose, you bring your palms under your shoulder blades to lift your entire body. So that's the harder version. Easy version, back bend in bridge. So choose your option. We'll stay there for some time. I wouldn't recommend you wheel pose if you've never done it before. It might pinch on your lower back, so be careful. And in your wheel, try to keep your legs quite straight. The same with your arms, taking more weight onto your arms. And remember to take care of yourself, coming out whenever it feels like it's too much. Otherwise, stay in bridge. It's okay if your knees play out, not a big issue, especially in your wheel. Okay, very good, Lenka. Those legs could be slightly straighter. So lifting the pelvis higher. Trying to keep heels down. Okay, and coming out slowly, mindfully. Okay, hopefully your straps are still somewhere around. We're gonna do some more hamstring stretching. So bring your left leg down and flat on the mat. With the strap, rub the right foot. Hold the strap with the right palm only. Left palm can rest on your hip. And here we'll do rotations clockwise and anti-clockwise. So warming up this hip. Now pull the strap as much as you can. See how far this foot can come over, and then start dropping it to your right. Keep looking towards your right big toe. If you can't reach the floor, which I'm sure most of you won't be able to reach the floor, I can't do it as well, then rest your elbow to give you a bit support with that arm. Now point your toes down if you can, lifting that right heel higher. Nice. Now you should feel the stretch at the back of your knee. Make sure there is a 90 degrees angle more or less, so maybe pull that strap a bit more towards yourself without overstretching, respecting the limits of your body. Few more breaths, inhaling into the back of your right leg. Good. And when you are ready, lifting this leg up and going to the other side. So swap your hands and drop your right leg to your left. Keep looking towards your big toe. Extend the right arm back. If you don't feel the stretch, then try to point your heel towards the sky and toes down. Very good. Powerful stretch. So take a couple of deep breaths there to let go. Good. And let go of your strap. And wrap the left foot. For now, just holding the strap with the left palm, doing a couple of rotations. The right leg is nice and long on the floor and the right palm on the hip. Change the direction if you haven't already. And then pull that strap towards you and start dropping that left leg to your left. Don't worry if you lose the contact with your floor on the right side of your body, but keep pressing that right hip down. Keep looking towards your left big toe, lifting your left heel up and allowing the toes to point down. Nice deep breaths into your knee. Few more moments, letting go of tensions, letting them sink into the floor. And then start lifting this leg up, swap hands, and drop this leg to your right. But make sure the leg is quite close to you, so maybe pull that strap to maintain about 90 degrees angle. That's where you are going. Extend the left arm, ideally with your shoulder down as well, if you can. And then lift your left heel up so that your toes can point down. Take a couple of deep breaths there, opening the back of your leg. And time to lift that leg up, release the strap. Full body stretch, take your arms over your head. Hug your knees by your chest, rocking from side to side. And end up on one side so that you can smoothly move onto your belly. So laying down on your belly with your palms under your chin. Check your big toes should be together. And check if you can squeeze, and press down with your pelvis, as we will be lifting up the upper body soon. So when you feel comfortable, take a nice deep breath in and lift your upper body up. Perhaps pressing through your pelvis down to lift yourself higher. 2 breaths more, strengthening the back muscles. And a bit higher, and come down. Let's do that again. Some of you might want to bring the palms together behind you, interlacing the fingers, perhaps pointing fingers, staying straight. And then on the inhale, coming up with the upper body. Keep looking down with your chin tucked in, lifting higher each time you inhale. Squeezing those shoulder blades, keep your palms together. And come down to rest. You can do that again, or third option, the hardest one, extend your arms in front of you so that the next time you go up, on the inhale, lift both upper body and your arms. Get ready and start. Keep looking down, extending the spine through the crown of your head at the same time. Push your pelvis down to lift yourself higher. Engage the back muscles, keeping you nice and strong. Last deep breath in, lift higher and come down. Spread the legs nice and wide, insteps down towards the floor, and rock from side to side. Bring the soles of your feet together and push yourself into wide knee child. We will rest here for a few moments, buttocks to heels, forehead down. Giving yourself all the time you need, relaxing and resting. And from here we'll move to another back bend, camel pose. So to get there, come onto your all fours, keeping your feet hip distance apart, and rising onto your knees. On the inhale, head coming up last. And then take your right arm up, and as you exhale, bring it towards your foot, your heel. You can tuck your toes under to make it a bit easier. So rest your right palm on the right heel. Extend the left arm, opening your chest towards the sky, looking up. Pushing this pelvis away from you, opening the front of your body. And then coming back to switch sides. Inhale, left arm up. Exhale, down on your heel. And then extending the right arm back. It's almost like a wild think pose without engaging our legs. So just exercising the upper body. Very good. Opening the front of your body. And then coming back to neutral. Now, remember to not to overextend. So if you feel you are pinching on your lower back, maybe skip that pose. Now we are going to be deeper, both palms together on your heels. So find your way to get there. Could be the same way we've done earlier, so one arm up at the time. Or just lean back, reach your heels, and then drop your head. Pushing those hips away from you. And finding a way to come out, either using your back muscles or leaning on one side at the time. We are going there again, either feet as they are, quite vertical to the floor with toes tucked under, or feet flat. That will make it much deeper. So choose your option and then prepare to come back into your camel pose. Enjoying your back bend, pushing this pelvis away from you, opening your throat by dropping your head as you've done in the fish pose. Very good. And then slowly coming out. Now very carefully come back to all fours. Slowly with your lower back, rest in child. Bringing your forehead down to the mat, maybe resting it on your fists now, just to not to create too much shock on your lower back. And from here you can go to your favorite inversion. Some of you might try at headstand or handstand. Something easier would be a shoulder stand. Today I'm gonna demonstrate the egg pose or tripod pose, which is actually a headstand, but it's easy to get into for anyone with a bit of support. So to go into tripod pose, make sure you have a nice surface for your head. I usually recommend to fold your mat, so you have like a triple layer of the mat there for your head. And then bring your palms down so that you create a triangle with your palms and where your head is going to. So at the top of this triangle, rest your crown of your head and do a couple of rotations here, massaging your head with the floor, both directions. And you can stay here as you are for quite some time, or if you want to experiment, tuck your toes under and straighten your legs. Just make sure your legs are quite far away from you so that you keep a good balance. Also make sure you are by the wall or there is nothing in front of you that you could fall onto. But hopefully you stay balanced with your legs straight, perhaps coming closer with your legs, lifting your sitting bones up as long as it feels comfortable and you feel balanced. Forearms should be vertical to the floor. And perhaps you can rest right knee on your right elbow and then bring the right leg back. And now the left knee, left elbow and back. So keep going with this movement until you feel comfortable. The full posture would mean bringing both knees onto both elbows at the same time. So do it only if you know what you are doing and feel confident. Then in the tripod you have to point your toes towards the sky to keep your shins nice and vertical to the floor. And you can just stay here. Some of you might have a core strong enough to actually lift your both legs up into a headstand. So do it only if you've done it before. Otherwise, just stay where you are. You can also rest in child if it's too much for you. So you are doing some sort of inversion. If you really had enough, you can just lay down with your legs up. That's the easiest inversion I can think of. Ideally keeping your legs straight, but don't worry if you can't. Looking towards your feet. And soon, coming out from your inversion, whatever it was, just take care of yourself. Great. Well done. So that was our Hatha yoga today. Now you can relax. So you can, for example, extend your legs nice and wide. If you like back bends and you want to open your chest more, you can get a blanket or some kind of pillow under your back, just along your spine. It could be even another yoga mat. And then you will have to lay down on it, taking your arms away from your body or maybe bringing your palms to your belly, up to you. Making sure your shoulder blades are down on the mat. Obviously, if you have a massive bolster or other sort of support under your back, it might not always be possible to keep your shoulders down. You can also get a blanket to cover yourself to stay nice and warm. Some of you might bring the soles of the feet together for a hip opener, with legs creating a diamond shape. And staying here for quite some time, making the space for yourself, your feelings, your sensations, even your thoughts. Our relaxation is not a meditation, so if something crosses your mind, something you might discover about yourself, that's fine. But if your thoughts are not related, then perhaps come back to your breath. Sinking with your body into the ground, letting go of any tensions you may still hold. So perhaps scanning your body, starting with your legs. Taking a couple of deep breaths into your legs to let go each time you exhale. Finding your hips and making sure you release your hips as well next time you exhale. Allowing your body to be heavy on the ground. Finding your back, the front of your body, perhaps taking a couple of deep breaths there. Letting go each time you exhale. Checking your shoulders. Hopefully your shoulders are perfectly relaxed. Still, you can take a few deep breaths there, relaxing as you exhale. And with your shoulders, your arms too. Allowing your body to be heavy on the ground. And checking how you feel without any judgment, just accepting the way you are. And then perhaps relaxing a bit more each time you exhale. Realizing how heavy your head is on the ground. The floor supports you and you can truly trust it. The head is heavy on the ground and your neck is releasing. Your neck is what connects your mind, your brain, with the rest of your body. And the more you relax, the better the connection. So allow the head to be heavy on the ground now. Releasing your face, your jaws, your lips, cheeks, your eyelids. Maybe bringing gentle smile to your face. If you like chanting, might be a good moment to chant Om, feeling the vibration in your body. Coming back to your breath whenever you feel you drift away too much. And if you are opening your hips, maybe extend your legs nice and long and wide. Eventually coming back to your body. I'm afraid I don't have my chimes with me today. So gently moving your toes and fingers. And eventually taking your arms over your head. Good, stretching here, few moments, maybe one side at a time. If you have a bolster or anything under your back, just let go of it now, so that you are nice and flat on the mat. And then you can bring your knees towards your chest, rocking from side to side, resting on the right side of your body. Perhaps using right arm for support under your head. And eventually lifting yourself back to cross-leg seating. Great. With arms into Prana Mudra. Deepening your breath. Extending the spine through the crown of your head. Perhaps realizing the connection with the universe. And then bringing your palms together over your head, crown, and then the eyebrows, throat, and chest. Rolling your shoulders back, taking nice deep breath in to chant Om together. And one more deep breath in to chant Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti means peace. Bending forward, Namaste.